2 years ago, it looked like this. Our state's largest ever oil disaster filled the Kalamazoo River with smelly, dirty crude, and the EPA was forced to shut it down. Tonight, finally, it's open water. The oil is gone, and now you can jump in. 24-Hour News 8's Henry Erb is in studio to show us how the river is reopening.
Well, it's good news for a lot of people to whom the Kalamazoo River means recreation. They can once again use Morrow Lake, and the 34 miles of river closed for nearly 2 years by the Enbridge spill.
The event was historic, and the response has been historic. It's unprecedented in the history of the Midwest, if not the history of the country.
It was time for that kind of sweep of history talk. The federal, state, and local government people who spent the last 2 years living with the daily slog of cleaning up the massive Enbridge oil spill had a chance to reflect, because this is pretty much the end. They say that for the most part, the cleanup job is finally finished, and today they lifted the ban on human contact with the river.
We remember back, this is the largest inland oil spill in the history of this country. Then we developed basically this whole submerged oil problem, which was very unique and very different and posed a lot of complications to how to continue recovering oil that ended up down in the sediment rather than on the surface.
In fact, she said special boats and equipment had to be engineered specifically for this cleanup. They all say people once again using the river may still see some sheen on the surface and some oil booms or workers around. But officials say there isn't much oil remaining on the river bottom. People who have traveled it say the Kalamazoo is looking healthier. They include MSU professor and Watershed Council president Stephen Hamilton.
Well, the river is starting to look a lot like it did before this oil spill happened, which is good. So the plant life has come back on the banks and the floodplain. The river water itself is nice and clear with a lot of aquatic plants growing in it, and that's always a good sign.
Officials say that what oil is left is no health threat, that if you get any on you, just wash it off.
Henry, thank you. Only one small section of the river remains closed. 1,000 feet of the river delta at Morrow Lake remains closed as work continues there. The closure is not because of any health issues, though. They just want to keep people away from workers. The area is clearly marked by buoys. Enbridge told us it should be open within a few weeks.